Hey everybody, how you doing? IntoWeapons back again with you. Got a new rifle to share with you today, and I thought I would throw together a quick unboxing and overview video for you. This is a pretty popular rifle, so I don't think it's going to be new to anyone, or very surprising that I purchased it due to the market conditions. But what we have here today is a Saiga 7.62x39 IZ132 model. It's by the RWC Group. And as many of you know, Obama had recently placed some restrictions on importation of all Russian-made firearms coming from the Kalashnikov concern and Izhmash factories. And I think that went into place 3 or 4 days ago now. And there's been a super run on all Russian firearms. That includes Saiga's rifles, Saiga shotguns, Vepr rifles, and Vepr shotguns. Those are the main ones that people have really been scooping up. Prices have been going through the roof on those because people are scared that they may no longer ever be imported again, which is a very good possibility. We had the Chinese temporary ban go into place in '94, and that's never been lifted. So there are certain concerns out there that are definitely justified for some of these people wanting to get these rifles before they become no longer available. Pretty much all online retailers that I'm able to find, you're not able to find any Saiga rifles anymore. You might be able to find a Vepr shotgun still available for a bit higher of a price than what it originally was a couple weeks ago, but really everything online is sold out. I was fortunate enough to get over to my local fleet farm and pick this Saiga IZ132 up for a decent price of $507 out the door. So I was pretty lucky to be able to find one. They have a couple more on stock, and I'm sure those will go pretty quick. But my area, it doesn't seem like anyone's really on top of the AK market and those types of restrictions and importation type things. So they may sit at Fleet Farm for a while. That's not uncommon. It's kind of funny because they still have an OPAP sitting there, which, as many of you probably know, is a pretty rare and collectible piece at this point. And I think their price on that is still $569. So they're really far behind the game on these market conditions and things, which is fortunate enough for me because I live close to them and I'm able to pick up these rifles when S hits the fan at this point. So what we're going to do is just break into this rifle a little bit. Like I mentioned, I paid $507 out the door. It's got the Izhmash sticker on the front here of the box, which is pretty common. It also has a certificate, I believe, from the manufacturer there on the box, which kind of gives some of the basic information when it's been produced or made or whatever the case is. And this one has a date on there of 9/4/2013. So a pretty recent build on this particular rifle. Inside the box, and it is just a standard cardboard box, you do have the owner's manual, which is pretty standard for a Saiga type rifle, and it's a pretty thick manual, so they give you some pretty decent instructions in here. What else do we have? We have looks like some sort of marketing material, maybe some aftermarket parts that you're able to purchase for these rifles. Like I mentioned, this is the unconverted Saiga, so it is in the sporter configuration, and it does come in this really thick yellow type bag, which is good for protecting it. But inside here, and I'll actually take this guy off here as well. Inside here, here's the rifle, and again, this isn't new to any of you, I'm sure. It's a pretty standard Saiga IZ132 rifle. It does, again, coming in a sporter configuration, so it doesn't have a pistol grip, doesn't have any of those evil features that those people like to complain about, like the pistol grip and the threaded muzzle brake and all that other good stuff. So we'll definitely do a conversion on this. That's going to be my plan for this particular rifle. But overall, in fact, let me just go ahead and get this box out of the way because that kind of affects the image quality here of my camera. But also inside this box we have the 110 round magazine, which is pretty standard, the cleaning kit, and the oil can, again packaged and sealed in this yellow type packaging. Hopefully we don't have to use those 10 round magazines here in the near future. I would like, again, to get this converted into more of an evil rifle, like they like to say. So looking for companies to do that for me. I really don't have the experience, time, or equipment to really drill any of this stuff out, and I've heard it's kind of a pain in the ass and takes a lot of time. I'd rather just send it away, have it professionally done, get the back converted, get the front converted, get the muzzle threaded, do some of the interior things that they need to do, or some of the moving parts, etc. Get it cleaned up, and ultimately I'd like to get it to look like the Atlantic Firearms RAK AK-47, which I think it's RAK AK-47. And it's about $1,200 on their website, which obviously is sold out again now because of the market conditions, but it's just an absolutely gorgeous conversion on a rifle that they do for these Saigas. So here's the rifle again a little bit closer, guys. As you can see, it's got a real nice thick barrel on there. It's 16.1 or 16.2 inches or something like that, but real nice thick barrel on there. Again, no threaded muzzle brake, but it's got a lot of meat there to be able to thread that out. No bayonet lug, which is pretty common with a sporter. It's got that front post and front sight block, which is pretty standard with all AKMs. You have your gas tube there, which is a little bit different. Again, you'll have to have that converted and fitted for a handguard, which is, you know, a part of the standard conversion process. You have the standard Saiga foregrip here, which is a nice foregrip, definitely for a sporter type configuration rifle. You have the standard AK type rear sight, leaf adjustable sight, and you'll notice that the notches on there are a little bit different from what you'll find on a standard ACAM, and I did write that down as far as what those mean. I think the 109, 218, and 328 yard mark is what they got that marked out for. So kind of unusual. I've never seen that before, but I'm not an expert on these Saiga rifles. You got a couple markings down there on the front of the receiver on the right hand side, as well as some of the other things there that are pretty common with the Saiga rifles. Of course, all numbers match on this rifle. That's pretty standard. You don't really find that these rifles mismatch. The finish on this rifle is just absolutely gorgeous. They really do a really good job of finishing this rifle up. Out of the box, obviously, it's got some fingerprints on it and stuff, but you take a nice silicone cloth to this and the thing just shines like gorgeous. The rear stock is synthetic. It's got the the swivel sling there. Pretty standard. Does feel pretty hollow. I'm sure it'll break. I can actually squeeze it and it'll bend inwards. So it's not the most durable looking stock that's out there. That's for sure. There is no cleaning, and I'm not going to get a. There we go. There is no cleaning kit in the back of the rifle. On the other side, again, pretty standard stock. You have the side rail scope mount, which is real nice to have that on there, and if you can make it out right behind there, there's the RWC Group LLC, and I don't know what else they say there. It says Tullytown, Pennsylvania, I think, something like that. So that's the company, I think, that imported the rifle, or the gun here. And you get the side rail scope mount again. You got dimples there for your mag wobble and structurally integrity of the stamped receiver. I believe it is only a 1.0 millimeter stamped receiver, so pretty standard. So you can see it's got Made in Russia by Izhmash, which is the big part here. It's got the Izhmash logo and then Saiga 762x39 down there. And that's pretty much it, guys. The rest of the other side of the rifle is pretty standard to the other side. The action is pretty slick. It's not great by any means, but it's not bad. I don't have any hang-ups or anything, and right out of the box that's pretty good. It does slide pretty easily. It doesn't even really get hung up on the hammer like you'll see a lot of those things, a lot of AKs do, and that could have a lot to do with just having that trigger group further back than what a standard AK is. So, but overall, that's pretty good. These triggers are not known to be very well just because of the trigger placement. Kind of got a lot of jumps and travel there. Really hard pull. I'd say that's probably close to 6.5 pounds if I had to make a guess. Don't really feel like pulling out my measurement tool to test it. I really don't care at this point. But we'll have to do a filing on the mag catch here. I guess that's part of the conversion process as well, so it does allow the standard 30 round mags to go in. But overall, real nice rifle, guys. I'm happy that I was able to add it to my collection for $500 prior to these not being available anymore. Again, I'd like to get it converted. I'm not going to probably do it myself just because of the reasons I mentioned before. So if any of you got any businesses or companies that you would like to recommend for doing a conversion on this, I'd love to hear it. I've asked a few, and Two Rivers Arms I've kind of reached out to and see if they're able to help me. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the rifle, like I said. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, stay tuned for some range testing. I'm just going to bring it out there and just function test to make sure I don't got a lemon, which I'm sure I don't. But you always want to make sure you do that before you do any kind of conversion or modifications to the rifle. So stay tuned for that range footage coming up here pretty quick. And also stay tuned for the conversion. Hopefully we can get some cool things on this rifle and make it really look authentic to a nice AK from Russia. So again, I appreciate you watching, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. And until next time, take her easy.